Welcome, patriots, freethinkers, and all the haters. This is Jeff with Freedom to Think, and today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to be looking at a new song by Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun, New World Order. Now, this should be interesting. I have not listened to anything Tom MacDonald put it out since Brainwashed. I didn't listen to Brainwashed. Actually, I started building my studio around the time that came out. My construction took forever. I had to fire a guy and do everything myself. Now, here's a disclosure. I'm not somebody who listens to that much music generally. Rap was never my genre. I had a couple Eminem songs on my phone forever, but what I did listen to kind of varied. It was like I'd listen to classic rock and then like Metallica and Rammstein, and then now I like a lot of Spanish pop music, mostly because I'm so sick of the lyrics of current pop music. I'd rather listen to something in a different language that I could barely understand. But somebody put me onto Snowflakes, and I was so entertained by that I listened to a bunch of Tom's music. And, there's nobody that I agree with on everything, and I don't expect anyone to agree with me on everything. But I agreed with a fair bit of what he had said in most of the songs. Not all the songs. There's definitely stuff in there I don't agree with at all. But I don't think even Tom MacDonald agrees with everything Tom MacDonald said. Because with new information and new data, opinions change over time. And I can see that in some of the music, that there's been changes. But without any further ado, let's get into this.
Here's the problem with America, the country is broken, cause they minds stay closed, but they mouths stay open. Get attacked and we blame terrorists, go broken, we blame the price, blame racists for the racism, but only if his skin is white. If we
Okay. Like already. Okay. See, here's the thing. The racism, but only if the races were white. Now, I have Mexican immigrant grandparents, and then my other grandparents came from Germany. And currently in New York, where they live, they have these early treatment options for COVID, monoclonal antibodies. And they want to make sure marginalized people have access to them first, which means if my abuelita goes in, she can get treatment. But if my German nana goes in, they'll turn her away because she's white. And now these people think that they're the anti-racists. And that boils my blood, because you can't be anti-racist except for a specific race. That's the definition of racism. Bunch of hypocrite dipshits. I have a feeling I'm going to be pausing a lot. All right.
We don't need guns because we can call the police. We don't need fire extinguishers, call a fireman, please. You didn't want to build a wall and now the border is weak. Your favorite actor has a gate that's like 15 feet. Racism is gay if you're a
Okay. Glad he touched on the border. See, because I have immigrant parents, so people may think that I want the border to be weak and people to get through. Not at all. Like 0%. Okay. There is a gate. There is an entrance. People can come here legally and work through the process. It's not racist to have a door. I have my whole yard, my whole property is fenced, and I have a gate. You can come in the gate. But the fence is so people don't come from all directions. So I can manage who's coming in, have a better idea. Also, the people who want the gate open, the southern border, bring in the drugs, the guns, and traffic the people. All the worst of the worst crap comes through our southern border. And the people who want it open are running that shit.
border is weak. Your favorite actor has a gate that's like 15 feet. Racism is gay if you're offended, that's retarded. And tolerance is great until you speak and you're a target. If a white man paints his face black, he's a racist piece of garbage. But you put him in a dress and he's courageous and he's gorgeous. All these double standards, man, I'm tired of the noise. Freedom's an illusion if they censor your voice. Call a dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys. But a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry, we need like 10 seconds of silence for that. Okay. Now here, everyone has a different position on everything, and I'm not here for anyone's feelings. I'm just sharing my opinion. Now with abortion, you're killing somebody, and some people think that they just say my body, my choice, but it's not your body. You're killing a different person. They happen to be inside your body, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a different person. And now some of you, I don't know who would be listening to this who would feel this way, but some of you may think, because I'm a man, I cannot have an opinion on that. So for the next 20 seconds, I'm going to identify as a female. So I can tell you that if you reach into your body with vice grips and rip a different body apart into pieces, and then crush a skull and rip it all out and put it together on a little mat where it can then be sold to Dr. Fauci. I don't know, man. That sounds like murder to me. All right, back to male.
Call a dad a deadbeat for neglecting his boys, but a mom kills a baby and you call it pro-choice. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that.
I've been censored a lot. I've been kicked off Facebook. I've been, by the way, follow me everywhere at F2T Podcast. Literally everywhere. I'm making accounts on all social media. As this shit implodes, you'll just be able to find me at the other places. And I'll leave links down below. But I've been continually censored, and a lot of the things that I've been saying are just the facts. And then they come out as true over time. And I say, okay, if I was able to discuss my entire point, you would probably believe it back then. But because we're censored on what we can say, because there's no open discourse, we don't have the best ideas winning the day. We just have the best that we can convey within the confines of what they allow us to say. And if they don't allow us to say the direct truth, then you have these other people who think they're right, and they're right based off of a big pile of bullshit. Great line.
Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose, here's your medal. To a new world order. Why they hate the flag, they try to burn it to the ground. Don't do that in front of me, I'ma let off a round, pow. Scream loud, burn the city down now. Put it on the news, make them all feel proud. Look, make a system where 85% of black people fill the prison. Is it cause they black or they make bad decisions? I ain't good at math, but it seems like it's division. Or is it white privilege?
Now, there is a distinction between actual racism and then, like he said, just bad decision making. So, as far as the black population filling up the prisons, the biggest reason is because they incentivize people in minority communities in inner cities to live without a father. The number one thing to kill your start into life is going without a dad. And what happens is the government becomes your daddy because your mom can't work and take care of you and educate you and do all that. So you end up using social media, social programs, all of these actors, athletes, musicians, and as Tom has alluded to in a lot of his other songs, the music that they're pushing onto these kids is absolute shit. That's why I didn't listen to rap, really, for a long time. Get drunk, do drugs, commit violence, neglect as many women as possible, hit it, no rubber, you know? That's it. So you got these people with horrible influences, no father in the house, end up getting into trouble. And the system's by design. So that's what's racist. When they follow the path of least resistance. Now you can jump off that path and move on to something better. Now, I lived in one of the worst ghettos in the country when I was born. I was almost shot several times before I was able to walk. And then we broke out of that. My parents worked 2 jobs each, got a new place outside of the ghetto. But because my dad was involved, they didn't qualify for social programs. So we were literally starving, no food in the house. And like I remember asking my mom, hey, can I get something? And she just started crying because they didn't have any food. There was nothing to give me. And so, anyway, the point is, it's called the trap for a reason. And so I could see the side of both sides because the people, the white people, the white privilege, don't really have white privilege. It's a lot of shit. But there is some intentional racism put together in the system for these inner cities. And I think it's pushed by some people with an agenda. And I will say, which political party runs all those areas? All of them. Think about that.
Decisions. I ain't good at math, but it seems like it's division. Or is it white privilege? I believe politicians need to be locked up. Try to take our freedoms, that's how you get shot up. Got our back against the wall, try to just stop us. More guns, more ammunition, please stock up. Election gets rigged, rights get infringed. Take this syringe, frighten your kids, show up right where you live. Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go. You act like you're so much better.
Wow, you really didn't hold back there. All right, now, I don't even know how this is not going to get banned. What can I say? All right, so do you remember that time that we voted for those people the year before 2021? Now, I live in Georgia, and so there's a lady named, that red jewel, starts with an R. Now, I watched on video when they lied about a water main break, which they admitted later. They lied. That never happened. There was a leaked toilet or some shit. And then they kicked everybody out, and this is all on video. Kicked everybody out of the paper. They grabbed 4 suitcases out from under a covered table, and they pulled out stacks of pristine pieces of paper that were supposedly mailed in pieces of paper. Follow along. And they started scanning them all night. And they would take the same stacks and they'd put them back on and scan them again and scan them again and scan them again. After they left, there were sworn affidavits from other people who were doing the counting and who were doing the observing of the counting. And they said, hey, we found these pieces of paper that were supposedly mailed in, and they were completely flat. No bends from being mailed, because you have to bend things to put them in an envelope. And they were exact copies of each other on thin, cheap paper. Not the same as the normal mail-in things that people vote on. I'll see how much of that I can keep in here. But I can tell you right now, he's 100% on that thing we voted for the year before 2021 not being cool.
Make me wanna grab a rifle and just go. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal. To a new world order. And everyone blames.
I love how he's in the padded cell. Because we've all seemed like we're the freaking crazy one this whole time. I mean, for the last couple of years. Some people, good for you and sorry for you if you've been paying attention to this for a very long time. But everyone kind of got a kick in the teeth when this COVID shit hit. And so some of us freaked out. Everyone started buying the damn toilet paper, right? And we had no toilet paper. Like, we had one roll when all of it went down. And my wife was telling me how this thing's overblown, people are overreacting and whatever. And I was like, look, I agree with you. Do you want to be the smart person with no toilet paper? I mean, we don't want to freaking use seashells here. So I went to like 6 stores to get it. And anyway, so the craziness just kept going and going. And it clearly started to come together when we're just like, okay, we got these pictures and videos of people in China just like dropping dead in the street. And then my mom, who's a nurse practitioner up in New York, she's like, okay, basically the people who have one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel are the ones that get hit the hardest, because those people get hit the hardest by everything. So the whole thing was massively overblown. Response was horrible. Protocols, just the worst. But as you see it and point it out, everyone's just like, you're the inconsiderate asshole crazy person who's ignoring the science. I'm like, bro, no, I'm explaining the science. They're censoring the science. So I love the padded cell reference, because I'm just like, dude, I'm just explaining this shit. I feel like I'm the crazy person. It's right there, right in front of us, like that.
And everyone blames white folks for every little bitty thing. We don't have no one to blame, we take responsibility. They tell you be a man, then call it toxic masculinity. Then when you act too feminine, they call it white fragility. I don't understand.
Oh my God. Yeah, the left is losing everyone with this gender shit, by the way. Because they're like, what is a woman? A woman is whoever wants to be a woman or identifies as a woman. It's not a tangible thing. You're just like, can you define it? Because I want to play by your rules, but you don't even play by your rules, because you're so afraid of offending somebody that you can't even make concrete rules, because you might offend somebody in your LGBTQIA plus question mark at the end. I don't know. There's a lot of the things, and they're just like upset people don't memorize whatever the rules of the day are. It's like, dude, if you're one person, you can't be they. All right? That's fucking with us. And I'm from a Spanish background, dude. So the household, like the whole language, the whole Spanish language is gendered. And they're trying to do this Latinx shit. None of us like Latinx, okay? We don't like that shit. That's poison. But the toxic masculinity thing is just the white fragility. Let me tell you this. The only white people holding you back are the white people who tell you other white people are holding you back. This is America, man. You could do anything you want. You could be anyone you want to be. But you're gonna put your own chains on you and point at the person who's just trying to get by. Let's move on.
A man, then call it toxic masculinity. Then when you act too feminine, they call it white fragility. I don't understand trans man with humility. I'm just trying to raise my kid the best of my ability. If I disagree, you try to cancel, get rid of me. You cancer, you can't be the answer, you killing me. And I hate white supremacy just as much as you, but I ain't feeling guilty for something I didn't do. The system's killing everyone, it sucks, but it's true. They kill you, then they broadcast it and call it the news. Or they'll brainwash you through social media feeds. And if you disagree, delete you immediately. Make America China pretty easy to see. I will always remember the land of the free.
Man, there's a lot there. Okay. Yeah, the Making America China. Look at the money. You got to follow the freaking money. And if you see all these people taking giant chunks of money from China and then implementing things that absolutely favor China's interests, and then culturally messing with us. I mean, you got like John Cena, who's over there gargling the balls of China, apologizing because he acknowledged Taiwan as a country, and all these woke people saying, "Oh, China, China's fine. China's fine. We don't care about China." It's like, listen, China's the worst. China's one of the worst polluters ever. They got these people who align with this group who loves China, okay? These elites are super in love with China because it's totalitarian, communism, and they just freaking own everything, do everything. The people have no rights, no nothing. And all these woke people are following these leaders who love China. And China's the exact opposite of woke, but in like a third direction, a horrible direction. So they got the Uyghur Muslims that they're genociding. They absolutely don't give a shit about their women. Forced sterilization against will. And they're super racist. Like, they'll have Disney go out there and make a movie, and then I think it was the Star Wars movie, and then the poster that they made for China didn't have Flynn in it, the black dude, because it would appear less appealing to the Chinese people. Openly acknowledge that China's racist against black people. It is pretty funny to see all the wokies towing the line for China, and then the worst pollutants, they're super racist, super sexist, and then crimes against humanity. But you guys are the good people. Okay, whatever.
America, China, pretty easy to see. I will always remember the land of the free. You act like you're so much better than us. Yeah, we know that. Who told you that you so special? To a new world order. Your facts ain't facts without censoring us. Yeah, we know that. Good job, you lose. Here's your medal. To a new world order.
Wow. All right, that was pretty incredible. I'll have to listen to it again because I'm sure I missed stuff, but I really love the padded cell reference because you got this guy who's just spitting facts, and you just consider the crazy people. Like, what the hell? I really enjoyed that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if there's anything. Now, I haven't listened to anything since Brainwashed. If you guys like this, if you'd be interested, I'll hold off for a little while, and then I would consider doing more reactions of those. So please follow me everywhere at F2T Podcast. I have my Freedom to Think podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, a bunch of other places, not at Apple because they'll censor me immediately. I'll show you a few of my episodes. You can read them. I'm not going to say the words because I might get this taken down. But my episode 4 is how I lost 85 pounds in 7 months and totally revamped my health. And some of the lessons and things there could really help people today. Episode 5 is how I got kicked out of work, suspended without pay, and ended up winning that debate. And then the last one is how most recent one I just published, is about how I used to save 20% of my income, net income, into savings, and another 10% with a 6% company match into 401k. And I found out that my financial plan was doomed. Anyway, if you'd follow me, if you'd like it, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, Tom MacDonald, being an independent artist as you are, it really did give me a bit of inspiration that if this guy can sit here and do what he does and do all of every aspect of it on a super tight budget and just make it work, then I can hand build a studio and learn how to use computers, learn how to do audio, learn how to do lighting, learn how to do video, learn how to do everything, and just try and put something out there, because it seems like Tom is just trying to create a space for us to pass information and discuss things that are important. And I agree with that. I really appreciate that. So thanks for letting us use your music as kind of a platform to talk to each other, and in a lot of cases reach across the bridge and figure out that a lot of us have very similar ideas, and the extremes of both sides are actually working together on a third side, and it's not anything that anybody likes. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, follow me at F2T Podcast. Check out my podcast, Freedom to Think, and I'll see you next time.